Good morning. Happy Monday. Well, Burr, it is cold outside. And I just want to welcome you. Uh, a lot of you are probably still in your jammies. You didn't go to work today. And uh, from here up, I dressed up. But from here down, I got my jammies on too. So welcome to the live chat this morning. And I hope you all are safe and warm. And I got some good news for you. I have a friend that lives in North Dakota, and he texted me yesterday and said it was 37 below in North Dakota. And so that gives us something to be thankful for because in Tennessee, it is not at least 37 below, but it is icy. We got just a little bit of snow here in Murfreesboro, but I think we've gotten a little bit more ice than we've gotten snow. So I appreciate you coming on and let me know in the chat that you're here with me. I always like to know who I'm speaking with this morning. We had over 450 people view it last Friday. So again, if I bring you some content, hey Terry, good to see you, girl. If I bring you some good content, put this on your site and share it with other people to where they can love their self more too. Um, I hope you had a good Valentine's weekend. I know that it's a hard weekend for many singles, many widows, many people that just don't have uh, the same things at this time that Valentine's Day, partner, love of your life, all of those things uh, that Valentine's Day portrays. But, there's other things to be joyful, and loving yourself is one of those things. Friendship. I had a group of friends over, and we celebrated love and uh, that we had each other in our lives. And for that, I am very thankful for. Um, I think I told you last week that we were going to unpack a few things this week. And I will come to you again on Wednesday to bring this a little bit deeper. But as I've researched a lot of self love, and just so you know, I'm still working on this process myself too. You are not on this journey alone. Let me just tell you, I'm learning myself how to love myself and how to take care of myself because um, I want to give my best self to whoever is in my life, whether it be um, friendship, family, or relationship. I want them to receive the best version of Sherry. And sometimes that takes work, especially when that's not what you've been told all your life. I did a little research and it says during early childhood, children start to develop a self concept that that they believe about their self that defines them by age 5. That's a little crazy when you think about that. That by age 5, children have developed self beliefs of who they believe that they are. That's just pretty amazing to me that it starts that early. Um, I asked you last week when was the earliest? Hey, Vicky, Star, Martha. Hey, thanks for joining today. I asked you last week, what is the earliest childhood memory of how you viewed yourself? Do you remember? I did that last week. Well, I want to share just a bit of my story with you today. Uh, some of you know it, some of you don't know it. If you've heard me speak, I've shared it a few times, but I just really feel like that today is a time that I want to share just a little bit. My mother got pregnant with me in her senior year of um, of high school. Well, back in 1956, that was definitely something that you would hide from the community or your family or all of that. They would ship you off if you got pregnant in high school. Well, my mom and dad did decide, thankfully, to keep me, and probably was a shotgun wedding, but it's okay. But as a very young child, I heard, hey, Terry. Terry just said, I'm going to ask my granddaughter, who is 5 years old, who she believes she is. I would love to know the answer to that, Terry. Um, but at a very young age, I um, I heard the things, you've always heard kids have big ears. Well, we do. We listen, we hear when people do not even recognize that we're listening. So I heard at a very small, young age that I was not wanted, that I was a mistake, that all of those negative things I heard behind the closed doors that led me on to the belief system that I wasn't good enough, all of those things that help you uh, to believe your self-worth. Um, at age 6 years old, I was sexually abused. By the age of 25 years old, I had an abortion. And by 40 years old, I had already had two failed marriages. And uh, so, what do you think? What do you think that I felt about myself? Good morning, Lauren. Thanks for joining. So, what do you think I thought about myself? I felt like I was unlovable. I felt like I was damaged goods. I felt like I was a failure. I felt like I was a disappointment to everyone around me, my family. I felt rejection. All of my life, folks, I had, I was looking for love and approval all of my life because I so desperately wanted it because of those self beliefs that I had in my little sweet brain, even at age 5 years old. Good morning, Peggy. Thank you for joining us. Uh, but this is the thing, guys. At some point in your life, we have to make a conscious decision. We have to make a conscious decision to quit dragging around all of those negative thoughts about ourselves. we've put them on our shoulder, and we have drug them around for years. I'll tell you a little story that just popped into my mind that I share sometimes about a professor that gave his students, I'll see if I can remember how it goes. He gave his students um, a classroom project, and it was it it was about, hey George, thank you for joining us. Thank you. You know, men, tons of men join in on this because you know what, um, guys battle the same thing that we battle too. So thank you guys for joining me. Hey Amanda, and this professor asked his students, the subject matter was about forgiveness. And he asked his students to carry around a 10-pound bag of potatoes everywhere that they went for a week. And that's what they did. They carried it to the movie theater, to dinner, to church. Everywhere they went, they carried this 10-pound bag of potatoes. And they were to come after a week and drop it at the professor's door and to write 3 things that they learned about carrying those potatoes around. Well, they did, and after a week, they brought it back, dropped it, and this is what one of them wrote. The bag of potatoes were heavy. The bag of potatoes started to stink. And the third thing that they wrote down was the bag of potatoes felt so good when they dropped them at the door. So the lesson in this is we can carry around all of those self-doubts, those words of unworthiness, and all of those things that we have believed about ourselves, that we are not lovable, that nobody would ever love us again. Hey, buddy, thanks for coming and join us. We've got a couple of guys on here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, guys battle the same things that we do. Um, so at some point in our lives, folks, we have to make that decision that there is a better life out there and that we want it. We've all been through a lot of stuff in our lives. And personally, I got tired of wagging all of that baggage around. Um, we have to decide to let it go and to move forward, or we have to decide to unlearn those lies. Hey, Debbie, thanks for watching. It's a choice that we all make, and it's hard. Let me tell you, it's hard. And I'm going to share with you on Wednesday the first time that I decided, after believing all of those things about myself and those things that I experienced in those early days of my life, that I wanted to make changes. People ask me all the time, they will message me and go, Sherry, I want to do those things. I want to live the best life now, but I don't know how. Well, in the coming weeks and days, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that have helped me. I didn't just wave a magic wand over my head and start loving myself. It has been a work in progress, just so you know. We all at some point have to unfold We have to unfold our story. We all have stories. And there's layers and layers. It's like peeling an onion. It's just peeling it back little at a time, taking one step, one day, one breath. And there was days, believe me, that that's what I had to do, especially after Jim passed. I I had to walk day by day, breathe day by day, and again, it's a process of learning who I am now that my partner is no longer with me, and how to love myself and love the people around me the best that I know how. Um, I want to encourage you that if we want to move forward in this self process, the first thing that you've got to do is to look at your story. I shared a bit of my story with you today. I encourage each one of you to look at your story. Where did those first self doubts or how you feel about yourself, your self doubts, where did they start from? The second thing, we got to find out where those core beliefs come from. We got to look at our story. We got to examine where those core beliefs started. And the third thing that we've got to do is to make a conscious decision to change some things in our life. I got to read you this. I posted this up here. I've got to put my specs on to do it. It says, I read this just recently. It says, we must kill the lies that we believe before they kill us and the ability to live our life to the fullest. Guys, I want you and me to live our lives to the fullest. That's what we deserve. That's what God wants us all to experience. And it's time to start living your best life now. And again, Wednesday, I'm going to unpack a little bit about why it's time for you to begin to live your best life now. Throughout this whole week, you'll see me posting some things about why it's time. And I'll see you again on Wednesday morning, and hopefully about 10 o'clock. Uh, if you follow me on Facebook, I'll let you know if there's a time change or anything. But right now, I'm going to try to stick to 10 because that gives me time to, everybody to get up, for y'all to get your coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but give me time to sort of get my stuff together too. So just know that we're on this journey together. And I want to thank you, the hundreds of you that see fit to view these videos. And I hope you have a blessed and wonderful Monday. Enjoy the day. Of many of you I know are home today. Take some time for yourself today, whether it's just cuddling up with a blanket, watching a great movie, reading a great book, whatever it is that brings you joy, peace, love, and kindness to yourself, because you're worth it. I love you, and I'll see you Wednesday.